Well, several Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputies are racking up overtime and taking home six-figure salaries.
The LA team's Jermont Terry started looking into the overtime issue weeks ago. Jermont.
Carol and Mike, you expect law enforcement officers to work some overtime, but when the I-team started to examine the 2013 payroll for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, we were shocked to find dozens of deputies making more in OT than their base salary, and you paid for it.
They patrol our highways, escort prisoners in court, and serve and protect. And it turns out some of the men and women at the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office are working extremely long hours.
We're at a point now where we're at the bone.
Last week, Sheriff David Clark sat down with the I-team. We wanted to know how and why deputies were making so much in overtime.
They're making well more than what their base salary is. Not just one, but several deputies.
Because we got one officer working for two.
The I-team obtained the 2013 payroll records. It shows deputies racked up thousands in OT, sometimes even enough overtime to cover another salary. We're talking $40, $50, even $72,000 in overtime in 1 year.
They have to work that overtime, though, because I have to get the work done.
Sheriff Clark contends cuts to his budget and a reduction in staff are forcing his 279 officers to stay on the clock.
Whenever somebody calls in sick, whenever somebody gets hurt, guess how I have to replace that? With overtime.
The I-team discovered something else, this big overtime grievance. The case deals solely with voluntary overtime at the jail. The deputies union sued the county after Clark only allowed corrections officers to get OT and excluded deputies. Last July, Milwaukee County silently paid a $370,000 settlement to the deputies.
Paid to deputies who didn't even work an ounce of overtime.
I suggested that the county appeal that decision.
Every deputy got a check. They ranged from $250 to $25,000, and it added up. One deputy with a base salary of $64,000 made $78,000 in OT, $24,000 from the settlement, for a grand total of $166,000 last year.
The average person sees that much money going to somebody that is meant to serve them with their money. They are right to say, well, what am I getting for that?
County Executive Chris Abley admits this much overtime is troubling.
Look, safety matters to everybody, but so does the stewardship of their tax dollars.
But he questions if all the OT is really due to the sheriff's claim that he's short-staffed. 9 months ago, the sheriff placed deputies alongside security guards at the courthouse entrances. Taxpayers already pay $1.5 million to have these security guards in place.
It sure looks like a waste of money. That's not my definition of a great way to spend overtime.
They're providing an armed security presence because I'm not going to allow a weapon to get through that security checkpoint.
And for now, taxpayers will keep paying the OT until the two sides reach an agreement. But at what cost?
Do you currently believe that this is a good use of taxpayers' dollars?
Every nickel we spend for public safety is a good use of taxpayer money.
Taxpayers deserve a lot better.
Now, the sheriff says he needs an additional 134 deputies to cut down on this overtime. Abley says the sheriff can hire as many people as he wants, as long as he stays within his budget. The sheriff says that will not work and that he wants more money for new hires. So it looks like this OT issue will go on for some time.
As will the conflict between the sheriff and the county executive.
That's not going away no time soon.
All right, thanks, Jermont.